All right, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to summon our freebie String Master, and then we're going to look at all the String Master and kind of talk about how they look, possible impact on the game, and where they might be used. So let's see what we get. I don't know that I have a preference yet. I might after we look at them in depth, but you know, not that a preference matters. You get what you get. So I'm going to get a... I don't know. I collected the thing, so I guess it's just sitting in my monster box. Is it? Oh god, where is it? Is it one of those things? Oh no, I gotta summon it, right? It's a scroll. Duh. I feel like I fell for that previously in one of these things. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna get a yellow one. Okay. The yellow one. That's the one I got. So let's go look at all their skills and kind of see what we think. Where are you? Art. No, string person, not art person. Okay, so fire one. Hong Yong instead of Yon Hong. So the opposite. Kind of weird. Guild leader skills, I think for all of them. Yep. So guild leader skills. First skill, I believe, is the same for all of them. It's a glance. Is that right? That's right. So first skill is create glance. So, you know, Chasoon, right? 2-turn glance, really good effect rate, 50, 60, 75% for 2 turns. That's really good. How does that compare to Chasoon? Let's go check real quick. Because I'm wondering. Oh my gosh. All right. So better. Look at that. 2-turn, 50%. So they're like, we're just going to straight up make it better. So it is. 75% for 2 turns. So just straight up better than Sky Dancers. All right. We've got Melody of Resentment, which I think is shared in the family. Yep. Okay. So we're going to get Melody, Resentment, or Dissonance. That's it. So Melody, Resentment plays a song that decreases the HP of the enemy that gets a turn by 5% each, and decreases the attack power for 1 turn with a 50% chance until your next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing this song. So we've got it on fire. We've got it on... this one, the wind one that I now own, and we've got it on light. So what is this skill? This is actually really neat, I think. It's an anti-turn cycling ability because, I mean, at least for me, I've been having some issues with turn cycling teams, and they're kind of everywhere. So this discourages your opponent from getting a ton of turns. Now she has to get a turn to actually play this, but it's reusable in 4 turns, and it cools down twice, so it's reusable in 2 turns. So, I mean, it only lasts for 1 turn, and it's reusable in 2 turns. So, what? It's got like a 2-turn cooldown? So not terrible. And it just reduces the HP of the enemy over and over and over and over. So if they're Verd cycling, they could basically take a 20% hit off turn HP-wise. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know how effective it'll be, especially, I'm sure the turn cycling teams will bring something to counteract this, something with like a passive heal, like a Perna maybe, that kind of counteracts it. But it's sort of like a reverse Perna. It unheals your opponent, and it's not just a heal; it's a decrease of HP. Yeah, so pretty interesting, and it's going to hit tanks harder than non-tanks because it's 5% of their HP, not a flat amount of damage, or it's not based on anything. So it's just going to eat their health and decrease their attack power. So the decreased attack power maybe would only apply to things like, I guess, Fran healing, if they have certain attackers that are in there getting stuff done, Sierra, stuff like that. But, I mean, I think that's pretty good. This cat is going crazy. Here, have a coaster. Okay. So that's what's going on there, Melody Resentment. It'll apply to several of the monsters, so it's good we kind of talked about that. All right, for the red one is Millennium Melody, so kind of a millennial-focused thing. So it's a increase the attack bar of all allies except you by 15% each. Recovers the HP of the ally that gets a turn by 15% each, and increases the attack power for 1 turn until the next turn. So this is a fire baby Bastet with a heal? Kind of interesting. Because it's attack buff with bar buff. So they're going to get 15% bar, they're going to get attack buff, and they're going to get heals, versions of heals. Interesting. So it's every time they get a turn, right? Not her, any allies that gets a turn. So if you can cycle without her, everybody's going to be getting 15% heal. That's interesting. So they could potentially get 30% heal if they get 2 turns before she unplays Millennium Melody. So kind of interesting. I guess things that might reward this in like a PvE environment would be her really slow, everybody else really fast, but then I don't know, like you could boost her up and then she takes 1 turn and never takes another turn and everybody just heals for forever. I don't know. Kind of interesting. Very different mechanic than what we've seen before, which is great. It almost doesn't even matter what these skills are as long as they're different. Because, if they were just various combinations of what we've seen before, increases the bar by 12% and grants glancing, and it's just a different mashup of stuff we've seen before. Whereas this is completely different. So it'll allow for experimentation and new teams and strategies, which is what we want. So that's the fire one. Fire unit with heal, pretty rare. So it's nice to see. One thing to note on these units that is going to hurt them immediately is their base speed is 97, which is really low. Like, 97 is borderline. You can't play them at RTA low. So just as a note, the base speed is going to hurt them quite a bit. All right, let's look at blue. Got the glancing with the nice proc percentage. Here's the next skill, Dissidence, that is on a couple of units. So let's take a look. Attacks all enemies 3 times to stun them for 1 turn with a 15% chance with each attack. Decreases the attack bar by 10% each if the target is under an ability effect. So it's a stun to go with a bar decrease. Harmful effect rate goes up 10%. So when you cool it down, it'll be at 25% stun 3 times. Generally, these sorts of skills are not very good or impactful because it's just chance-based and immunity exists, and both of those things kill this skill's ability to do anything. So I'd say probably Dissidence is not going to be the best second skill. Probably this thing is actually going to be better because it's damage, right? I mean, units that can heal and do damage are pretty good. Looking at Harmonia, right? In the current meta, she decreases HP and heals, and that's a great thing. So I don't know if this will be as good as that, but it's a little bit of something. So units with this skill, I would say in general, probably not going to be as impactful. So hopefully I'm wrong, but that's usually how it goes. All right, third skill on the blue one. Admiration of string sound. She appreciates her own music. She plays a song that grants immunity on yourself for 1 turn and blocks the enemies for getting beneficial effects until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing this song. Okay, so that's interesting. It is a beneficial block skill, AoE, does not appear to have any sort of proc chance. It just happens, and it lasts until she takes another turn. So, it doesn't say it blocks beneficial effects for 2 turns. It says just blocks them. So maybe it's more than 2. If they're turn cycling, they're not getting any beneficial effects until they're done, and she gets a turn. The immunity on herself for 1 turn is, I would say, pretty bad. It just means you kind of can't mess with her while she's doing this, but 1 turn single person immunity on a third skill, I mean, that's pretty bad. I would say the blue one is not impressing me at all. Like, this is an okay first skill, but it's across the family. Doesn't matter. This, I don't think will really have any impact. And this, I think, again, immunity blocks it on the opposing team. A cleanse fixes it. It's got a 4-turn cooldown for something that occurs for 1 turn. So not super impressed with that. Maybe I'm wrong, but not. All right, hey, look, it's the one I got. She kind of looks like Chasun got a hobby and learned how to play an instrument, right? Maybe she did. Let's see what she does. All right, this one, we know all about it. This one is the HP decrease. Got it. Okay, we've already talked about that. Here's what makes her interesting. Oh, it's a passive. Good. Passives are almost always good. So let's see what it is. Uses the melody of resentment when attacked by the enemies while not playing the song. The damage you receive will be decreased by 30% while playing the song. Okay, so that's awesome, right? I think that's actually awesome. I think I might have got the good one. Fire's probably good too, so I don't know. Melody of resentment. So what does that mean? If you attack her, she plays this. When she plays this, you lose HP every time you take a turn and you get your attack power down, right? The interesting part of these are you cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. Is interesting. There must be only a couple little situations where that applies that they found while testing, but I mean, I don't know who's attacking with Yon Hua. I don't know. I'm sure there's some obvious example of it that I'm not thinking of, but anyway, yeah, I like this a lot. So reusable in 4 turns, right? Oh, so it's a passive with a cooldown, so it's not quite as good. It's not going to be up all the time, but it's a second use of Melody Resentment. So if you like Melody Resentment, here's Melody Resentment again if you get attacked. People that attack into this will know and probably not attack it, but if they've got AoE, what choice do they have, right? You could probably abuse this in PvE content quite a bit. Make her attacked, right? You know, put her in against a fire monster, and you use this once, they lose however much HP they have by attacking a bunch. And in theory, if they're not turn cycling, this isn't that bad. They're only going to lose 5% HP, not a big deal, right? But if they're turn cycling, this is bad. I would say, you know, I mean, they're going to... The other thought... See, it's just get a turn. I was like, is it per attack? Like, if they do a multi-hit, does it matter? No, it's just when they get a turn. So if they're taking a bunch of turns, this is bad for them. And then this is just the same thing again. So in my mind, I was like, oh, it's a passive. It's always going to be up. She's going to be doing this 24/7. No. It's a cooldown. It's got a 4-turn cooldown. This has a 2-turn cooldown. So what does that mean? Oh, gosh. Math. Fractions. She's going to be doing this quite a bit. Probably about 50% of the time. And her leader skill is resistance. So that is the wind one. I think in terms of interestingness, I probably want to see the fire one the most. Just because it's got some interesting things going on. I think fire one might be interesting. I think wind one might be interesting. I think water might be the stinker this time around. So just as a note when you get one. You know, hope you get the good one you want. All right, let's look at LDs because LDs are fun. Got a defense skill. Got that. This is the Melody Resentment, which is, I think, the one that is good. So that's nice on the light one. All right, Solo String. Your attack bars decrease by 10% when an enemy gains a turn while playing the song. Your attack bars increase by 20% when an enemy gains a turn while not playing the song. Okay, cool. So that's what I thought the Wind one did initially. It is, you want to rock out the Melody of Resentment 24/7, and that's what she does. If they take a turn, she's like, I don't need a turn. And if... Wait. Your attack bars decrease by 10% when an enemy gains a turn while playing the song. That's what's important. While you're playing the song, if they take a turn, you play the song more. When you're not playing the song, if they take a turn, you get back to playing the song again quicker. So that's interesting. So clearly this song is awesome, right? Her entire kit is rock out to the melody, right? Just do it. So that's pretty cool. I kind of like the light one. The light one's probably a slightly better wind one. The wind one wants to play it a lot. This one wants to play it even more. And she's taking tons of turns. Interesting. Okay, so that's the light one. Dark one, got that one. Got the stun again, which I'm not a giant fan of. But we've got a guild speed lead, so kind of doesn't matter what she does. Those are rare, so that's really nice. They seem to want to give the guild speed leads to dark units, because Hyannis has one also. I wonder what that's about. Anyway. Alright, here's what makes her interesting. Cursed Music. Plays a song that increases the attack speed of all allies, except you, for 2 turns. Okay. And increases the damage of all allies and enemies by 25% until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. Okay. So it's a speed buff, and it's a damage buff, but it's for everybody? That doesn't seem that good. Maybe it's because it's cursed. How is that good? So this is only good going first, right? I don't know. I'm not feeling it. If you take all your turns and they don't get any turns, then obviously you benefit more from the 25%. But if they get a turn, they benefit from the 25%. So I'm not feeling it that much. I feel like she's a speed lead that does weird stuff. I guess she is a speed lead, though. So maybe she curses magics and then you just Lucian, right? I mean, that's not crazy. You got to figure out how to get an attack buff, though. Okay, so here's how you do it. You Mirane with Dova and Lucian. Done. But you got to get her before the Dova. So how do you get her that fast? I guess she's got the speed lead. So she goes, she buffs, take more pain, and then Lucian wrecks via Dova. I think that's how she works. Don't let them get a turn, otherwise you are cursed by music. Okay, so ranking of the units. I'm thinking probably light if Melody Resentment is as good as it seems. It's so super situational, though, that I don't know. How often will you bring this unit? I don't know. So, yeah. So, probably light. Then wind is similar to light, so I'm going to put wind, plus I own it, so we'll just pretend it's the best. And then I think fire is also interesting, just because I think Melody Resentment is the hallmark of this class, or this class of monsters, this family. So, yeah. And then this is just interesting, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So, hope that was helpful. I'm sure some people already have the light one or like, yes. So good luck to everybody pulling them. Hope you get the one you want. Hot water. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.